That's right, there's still tier slop content to be made, viewers. We here at Moxie Corp have avoided bankruptcy once again by ranking even more Pokemon related content in a video. Though, this time we'll be ranking something a little different. Rather than ranking Pokemon, we'll be ranking Pokemon trainers. Specifically, every trainer you face in the ZA Royale. You see, every major named character from your playthrough of Pokemon Legends ZA will get a rematch in the Infinite Royale with an updated and higher level team. I mean, not just every named major trainer, but even some of the non-major trainers, like this guy.
Who?
Since these teams are all about the same level, it's actually worth talking about who here has the strongest team and possesses the biggest challenge to the player. These teams are going to be ranked based off how strong they are within this game's mechanics. So while you may not encourage someone to run Bounce on their Lopunny and regular turn-based Pokemon, it's actually not a bad move in this new real-time battle system. There's a few things that could make or break a team on this front, but what we're looking for here is type synergy, strong Pokemon, and powerful moves. Basically, if the fight takes more than rubbing 2 brain cells together, they'll be ranked a bit higher on this list than someone that can be swept by spamming Earthquake with Mega Garchomp. Also, we're only doing the rank up matches. I won't be ranking any of those random players you fight during the night in the ZA Royale. With that out of the way, do all the YouTube things, like, subscribe, check out the Patreon, become a YouTube member, hype the video, whatever. Let's just begin with... Zack somehow stumbles into the Infinite ZA Royale with the only low-level team consisting of a level 10 Slowpoke, a level 11 Pidgey, and a level 11 Pikachu, which isn't even holding the light ball. How did he even get up here? I really don't know. This is why they call him Le Z Eternal.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
He's going to be going into F tier, which is technically a 21-letter improvement from Z. Actually, you know what? We'll just put him back in Z. This is what you get for trying to rid us of the joys of public transportation. I make Pokemon videos for a living, dude. Of course I love trains. That being said though, Zack only didn't have time to train his Pokemon up because he's the only one in this game who's really grinding. Grinding for money, that is. How can he have Pokemon higher than level 10, dude? He's driving his taxi all day making his cash. Everyone else on this list is just a bum, for real. Griselle has a team consisting of Talonflame, Camerupt, Aerodactyl, Metagross, and Pyroar. While this isn't a weak team by any means, she does only have 5 Pokemon. But these are still pretty strong Pokemon. Metagross is a pseudo-legendary after all. The whole team though just kinda loses to water Pokemon though. Specifically Sharpedo and Greninja are able to sweep the entire thing with their water and dark coverage. And the fact that she's repping Mega Pyroar when she has 1, 2, 3 better Mega Pokemon possible on her team is actually kind of a tragedy.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
All of her Pokemon, save for Pyroar, are powerhouses capable of big damage, but only having 5 Pokemon and choosing the weakest among them to Mega Evolve will only take her so far. We'll go ahead and place her at the bottom of B tier. This channel is partnered with Gamersupps. If you want to support my work and get great tasting drinks, you can order Gamersupps through my link in the description down below or with code MOXIEBOOSTED at checkout for 10% off. Gamersupps is a caffeinated product that I recommend only to my 18+ viewers, but my link will send you to their caffeine-free product section just in case. Every product purchased through my link supports my channel financially, so I'd really appreciate the support. Now back to the video. You know, for a water trainer, Lita actually doesn't have a lot of water types on her teams, nor do these Pokemon really scream Dancer to me, even though that's what she likes to do. So she's already head and shoulders above her brother Tierno, who had a team of Pokemon with only 1 move on some of them, at a high level too, so that was actually a deliberate choice on Tierno's part. It takes effort to be that bad at Pokemon. Her team consists of Clawitzer, Vanillux, Emolga, Vaporeon, and, oh dear god, Mega Starmie. So, actually a couple of powerful attackers here. Clawitzer is actually a fairly strong opener with its high special attack stat and good coverage moves. Emolga and Vanillux prevent you from sweeping her entire team with grass types, as Emolga resists those grass type moves and can hit it for super effective, and Vanillux can do the same by using its ice moves. And Mega Starmie of course is wanted in 13 different countries due to its absurdly high stats, so yeah, I actually wouldn't really want to face this team, and it actually requires you to switch your Pokemon to win, which is a lot more than most teams on this list can say. She's only got 5 Pokemon, but the fact that one of them is Mega Starmie helps her out immensely. We'll go ahead and place her at B tier. Behold, Tarragon, the world's oldest VTuber. Unfortunately, his whole team loses to water types, save for Stunfisk, who actually kind of flexes on this whole game. I'm not joking, like, this thing's actually a real pick in PvP matches. As a ground-type trainer, his team consists of the wall known as Hippowdon, Stunfisk, Diggersby, Crocodile, and Mega Excadrill. So once again, just a 5 Pokemon team. That being said, the fact that he's running Diggersby in a game where there's no abilities means that this guy doesn't have huge power, which is hilarious. This thing has a 56 attack stat. Someone help this dude. Mega Excadrill, however, is a menace, and the fact that it's running its best competitive PvP moveset, save for Earthquake over Mega Horn in this fight, legitimately makes it possible for him to reverse sweep your entire team. His team is fairly strong overall, but all of the common weaknesses with little to no ways of dealing with them leaves him just at the bottom of B tier. He's strong offensively, but defensively he's got a lot to learn. It's actually super funny that Zavi is probably stronger than 99% of the named side characters in this game, simply due to the fact that he's not a type specialist, and that's a trend that we'll see going through this video. So he's not limited to running Pokemon that almost all drop to the same type of attacks. Zavi has a Scolipede, Slowking, Alakazam, Roserade, and Furfrou. His team has 2 forms of hazards on it with Spikes and Toxic Spikes, Reflect on the Alakazam to make the team just a bit bulkier, and that Furfrou is a bit of a coverage monster with it having access to all of the Elemental Fang attacks. The only thing Zavi is truly lacking though is a Mega Pokemon and a full team of 6. But these 5 actually take him fairly high in the rankings. They're able to deal with each other's weaknesses really well, and the coverage on them make them pretty strong. We'll place them in B tier, going just above Lita. Gwynn is yet another type specialist, with her team being consisted of entirely ghost-type Pokemon. However, this team has literally no Pokemon that can take neutral damage from ghost or dark moves. They literally all just get swept by those types of Pokemon. Bayonet is definitely the weakest link on this team, and the best option that this team has into dark types is just clicking Dazzling Gleam with her Gengar. That being said, offensively, the team has pretty okay coverage. Mega Chandelure hits like a truck, and that massive special attack stat makes it a huge threat, so it's a major boon for the team. It's even got Combine set up with Flamethrower, but Heat Wave would have been more preferable since that move actually tracks. It's a strong team overall, but due to the common weaknesses, I can't justify putting this trainer any higher than C tier. Here's Laban. She's only got a 5 Pokemon team, but I mean, they're dragon types, so she's definitely got some heavy hitters. Altaria, Garchomp, Tyrantrum, Noivern, and a Mega Dragalge. Do these Pokemon all lose to Dragon and Ice type moves? Yes, but her team has such powerful attackers with coverage like Stone Edge and Iron Head to hit those Pokemon that it legitimately probably doesn't matter. She can just get away with it and sweep through your team. It's actually really scary. You know, just like her. Swords Dance Garchomp is arguably the best regular Pokemon in the game, capable of one-shotting a huge number of Pokemon in this Pokedex, and even her Mega Dragalge is capable of hitting opposing ground types for super effective damage with Hydro Pump. So she sort of deals with her defensive holes by just being an offensive monster. She just kind of gets away with it. We'll go ahead and make her our first A tier pick. Once again, a 5 Pokemon team, and despite Naveen being a dark type specialist, he actually accounts for his team's weaknesses to fighting bug and fairy types by running not only Ariados, but Aegislash. Ariados being a bug poison type, of course, is going to be able to switch in on fighting bug and fairy type moves, and Aegislash can do the exact same thing with it being a ghost steel type, meaning that it's immune to fighting moves and resists bug and fairy type attacks. This would be much more impressive if Aegislash wasn't doo-doo garbage in this game. Like, why does stance change take 3 to 5 business days to happen? And by the time it's able to adjust his pants and pull up his zipper, Aegislash is already eating 3 earthquakes and fainting. And maybe Ariados isn't the best bug poison type to use in this game. I don't know, there's Scolipede right there. Despite that, the weakest link on this team is definitely his Sableye, cause like, what is it doing with Confuse Ray? That move doesn't really even do anything in this game. Crocodile's fine, it's a pretty powerful ground type attacker, and Mega Scrafty is a passable Mega. But with all things considered, I can only really put Naveen in high C tier. It's a pretty balanced team overall despite being a type specialist, but there's a few holes in it that make it hard to rank any higher. Alright, looking at Yvonne's team, I'm not gonna lie, it's about as average as a team can get. Between Aromatisse, Slowbro, Slurpuff, Trevenant, and Vivillon, there's decent amounts of type variety, but nothing actually synergistic, save for like Slowbro beating the poison types that would otherwise hit her fairies. But with just 5 Pokemon on the team and no standout powerhouses or Mega Pokemon, I'm just gonna throw her at the bottom of C tier. Like, I don't know, there's not really anything to examine here. Why does this random waiter that you fight early on in the game end up with one of the most balanced teams on this list? Is it a 5 Pokemon team? Yes, but look at the picks. We have a Fire Water Grass Core with Simisage, Simipour, and Simisear, but he's even got an Umbreon and Espeon. So we have 3 offensive Pokemon with great type synergy and coverage, a Psychic type attacker, and one of the bulkiest Dark types in the game, running not only Toxic, but Moonlight for recovery. Yes, the movesets on the evolutions could use some work, but the Elemental Monkeys have coverage for days and they're powerful moves on top of that. But he also has Protect on literally all of his Pokemon, meaning he can bait out cooldowns and retaliate when the opponent is vulnerable. There's no reason he should be this tough. Renaro, shockingly, is going to be going at the bottom of A tier. He's just missing a Mega and a 6th Pokemon, but most trainers on this list don't even have 6 Pokemon anyways, and him just having actual strategies is enough to carry him that high. The team is balanced, the Pokemon are pretty good, and he has crazy plays he can pull off with all those Protects on his team. My apologies to all the Caniacs out there. Wait, sorry, Canatics. I don't know, Caniac is funnier. You're telling me there's a chicken tender fast food chain out there with Swiftie style fans that have their own name? I don't know, that's just funny to me. That's besides the point though. What I'm gonna get at here is that Canary unfortunately doesn't make it that high on the list. Her team is made up of entirely electric types, and not a single one of them can be hit for neutral by ground type moves. I mean, Emolga's in the game, it was right there, you could have actually had an immunity on this team. But her team of Heliolisk, Ampharos, Stunfisk, Manectric, Dedenne, and Mega Electros at least have tons of coverage options for dealing with the many opposing ground types that can sweep through her whole team. Mega Electros has access to Liquidation and Giga Drain, Ampharos has Ice Punch, Heliolisk has Solar Beam and Surf, and hey, even Dedenne carries some weight here, with Stab Dazzling Gleam being decent into Garchomp, who is, once again, one of the best Pokemon in this game. All that being said, she's got some decent hitters on this team and tons of coverage, so the worst I can put her is in low B tier, just above her father. As a side note, my editor Micah asked me what her Oshi mark would be, and I didn't know what that meant, but apparently it's like an emoji that you put in your Twitter username to signify that you're a fan of a certain online creator. So here's ours, I guess. Thanks, bye. Oh, okay, but the Discord moderator knows about Emolga though. Okay, whatever, buddy. Look, there's not much to go over with Manny's team. He's got Heliolisk, Emolga, Alolan Raichu, Jolteon, and Cantonian Raichu. All of the same problems with Canary's team exist here, just more so. Like, the Pokemon here are overall much weaker than Canary's, and they lack the coverage that her team had in terms of movesets. The only thing that can hit ground types for super effective damage on this team is Heliolisk's Solar Beam. Also, he's got no Mega. D tier. D for Discord. Oh my gosh, a 6 Pokemon team, finally. Looks like while you were out completing all of those side quests, you know, doing her job, she actually had time to catch 1 extra Pokemon. Emma is not a type specialist, meaning she's got everything going for her. A 6 Pokemon team, variety of typings between those Pokemon, and a Mega, oh my gosh, it's Mega Malamar. Well, it was nice while it lasted.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks! I get it!
Here's a fun fact. Emma has 5 other Pokemon on her team that would be better picks for Megas. She could have chosen Mega Ampharos, Mega Mawile, Mega Lopunny, Mega Abomasnow, or Mega Lucario as her Mega, and she went with Mega Malamar, a Pokemon whose stats don't really look very Mega to me, and is the LeBron James of dropping to a U-turn. At the very least, her other Pokemon are fairly strong, save for that Lopunny, which doesn't hit that hard outside of its Mega form, but it does make up for this by having every elemental punch for coverage. Actually, all things considered, Emma has one of the most solid teams of anyone that we've covered so far, with Light Screen for bulk, high base power moves, and access to that sweet, sweet Mega Pokemon damage, even if it is a Mega Malamar. Top of A tier. Okay, Short King, all 5'1" of you is actually pretty intimidating when you put your team next to you. Corbo is actually a type specialist, but you wouldn't notice that with how well he covers for the poison type's weaknesses. Poison types are only weak to Psychic and Ground type Pokemon, but his team of Arbok, Barbaracle, Roserade, Gyarados, Garbodor, and Mega Scolipede deal with these 2 types quite well. Only 3 of his Pokemon are actually weak to ground, and his Gyarados is straight up immune to ground type attacks. This thing also carries its best competitive moveset at the time with Crunch, Waterfall, Ice Fang, and Bounce. Roserade is a strong offensive mon as well, with it being able to hit ground types for super effective damage, and Mega Scolipede can easily one-shot most Psychics in the game with X-Scissor, which it can easily win the battle against Psychics since it can just bait out the Psychic type move with Protect and retaliate with X-Scissor while the move is on cooldown. Corbo really has the complete package here despite his dedication to the Poison type, and for that reason, I'm going to be placing him in S tier. Urbane and Towny's team depend on what starter you choose, and this doesn't matter to their ranking. Let me explain why. This is a 6 Pokemon team with a Mega that has no type dedication. We already check off all 3 boxes, but the fact of the matter is, this is a beast of a team no matter which version you get. Opening with Meowstic means that they can set up both Light Screen and Reflect, which allows their other Pokemon to put in even more work. Those Pokemon being Goodra, Avalugg, Manectric, and 2 of the starter Pokemon, with one of them being a Mega. All of these Pokemon having effectively their best competitive movesets for this game, as well as 2 of them having Protect for baiting moves out and attacking during cooldowns. And this is after your initial battle with them, where one of their Pokemon is Mega Floette Eternal. This is undoubtedly the strongest team on this list, S tier, right above Corbo. With 6 Pokemon on his team as well as a Mega, Ivore actually has a decent amount going for him. Much like Canary though, his whole team is weak to one type, but he deals with this by running coverage to deal with flying Pokemon on nearly every single Pokemon on his team. This team does seriously struggle with Psychic type Pokemon though, with only Heracross being able to hit them with Mega Horn. That being said, all of these Pokemon are heavy hitters, but Mega Phalanx is pretty underwhelming with it having to click no retreat to really feel like a Mega Pokemon stat-wise. All that considered though, he's still very strong with a very offensive and powerful team, and he'll be going at the top of A tier. Alright, the full team of 6 streak is broken all thanks to Felipe. Everyone applaud this guy. Come on man, we're on a roll. That being said, he's also a type specialist, but since he's a steel type specialist, his team is at least halfway decent. That type carries so many of its Pokemon. Felipe's team consists of Steelix, Scizor, Aggron, Klefki, and Mega Skarmory. These are all pretty strong Pokemon, but there are some fundamental flaws here. The whole team, barring Aggron, is weak to fire moves, and the only attack to deal with opposing ground-type Pokemon is Ice Punch on Aggron, which I don't think you should be sending out your Rock Steel-type Pokemon to deal with opposing ground types. It just seems like a recipe for disaster. Klefki does have Light Screen to help out the team though, as most of these Pokemon have higher physical defense than they do special defense, but the fact that his Mega Skarmory forgoes Brave Bird on its moveset for Protect is actually a pretty huge throw. Brave Bird is arguably one of the best moves in the game, and the reason Mega Skarmory is able to pick up so many KOs. With that in mind, Felipe is going to be going to the top of C tier. Jacinthe may have a full team of 6, but she's also a type specialist. That being said, it's the fairy type, so it's a lot easier to get away with. Her team consists of Carbink, Mawile, Gardevoir, Sylveon, Mega Clefable, and her one non-fairy type Pokemon, Aurorus. Come on, you get one non-fairy type and you choose the one that also loses to steel type moves, just a little bit harder though. Masterful Gambit, Miss Jacinthe. She does carry Mystical Fire on 2 of her Pokemon, as well as Fire Fang on Mawile, so she is able to deal with opposing steel types, but for someone who's the head of a group of experienced competitive battlers, she isn't really representing that group super well. I mean, the Binky doesn't even have screens. Right in the middle of B tier, because there are still some pretty strong attackers on this team, it just isn't assembled very well. As the final trainer in between you and A-Rank, of course Grisham has to have a pretty good team, and despite his fiery aesthetics, he has no loyalty to the fire type. With 6 Pokemon of decent type variety in Pangoro, Malamar, Pyroar, Tyranitar, Salamence, and Mega Charizard X, Grisham has quite the powerful team. 2 Pseudo-Legendaries and a Mega Charizard X packing Flare Blitz are nothing to sneeze at. 3 of his Pokemon do have a ground weakness, and 3 of his other Pokemon have fairy weaknesses, but he does have coverage for them with the appropriate types on his team. He's a super formidable opponent in battles, and all of his Pokemon hit like trucks. He'll be going in between Towny and Urbane and Corbo in S tier on this list. I genuinely didn't realize until making this video that not only does Vinny only have 5 Pokemon, but literally his entire team is weak to fighting types. This is all despite him not being a type specialist. How do you even do that? Not only that, but his team of Houndoom, Sharpedo, Glalie, Lopunny, and Mega Drampa basically have no hard hitters. The best compliment I can give Vinny's team is that his Sharpedo is basically never going to have to wait for cooldowns since its only 2 water type moves are Aqua Jet and Whirlpool. I mean, the cooldowns aren't very long, but that's because the moves aren't very strong. Yeah man, you're going right into D tier. It's impressive he actually managed to be this bad. He's only going to be above the Discord mod guy because he's got a Mega Pokemon. Josie, she's Ivore, but she left her Mega Phalanx at home. Middle of D tier.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You know what? Points for creativity. Asami is literally just a trainer with 5 Florges of different colors, but with different movesets, and some of them can hit poison types. I'm sorry, Asami, you're going to the bottom of D tier. I really can't defend this. Your team works better as a bouquet than a competitive team. Our final trainer on this list is Andy the Backpacker, who only has 5 Pokemon and she lacks a Mega Pokemon, but she's actually got some pretty decent type variety, with Carbink rocking Light Screen, a Bulk Up Go-Goat, Klefki, a mixed attacking Autono, and... wait. No, that can't be. It's him. It's the Pancham, the one that stole your bag at the start of the game. And it's still a Pancham at level 73 for some reason. It's holding an Eviolite to boost its defenses, meaning it's the only Pokemon on this list that is holding a non-Megastone item. Andy the Backpacker is going into Super S tier, sheerly for the aura of bringing that legendary Pancham to this match. With that, our final rankings are Zac Le Z Eternal at Z tier, D tier consisting of Asami, Manny, Josie, and Vinny, C tier consisting of Yvonne, Naveen, Gwynn, and Felipe, B tier consisting of Griselle, Tarragon, Canary, Jacinthe, Lita, and Zavi, A tier with my goat Renaro, Laban, Emma, and Ivore, S tier with Corbo, Grisham, and Towny or Urbane, and Super S tier with just Andy the Backpacker and her iconic Pancham. But what do you think about my rankings? Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comment section below. I mean, ranking these people is actually kind of difficult because this game is kind of weird. It kind of feels like if you get to a high level, you can sweep through most teams pretty easily. So I basically just ranked these on how they would be hypothetically if you were fighting them at the correct level. I mean, I figure most people would have level 100s by the time you get that far in the infinite ZA Royale. But if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It'd mean the world to me. If you want to support my YouTube channel further, you can check out my Patreon page or become a YouTube channel member by clicking the join button below the video. This gets you sneak peeks at future videos, access to bonus content, and access to my supporter-only Discord server where you can hang out and team build with other community members or even participate in our weekly tournaments. You also see your name at the end of all my videos like all these lovely people. Special thanks to my most boosted supporters, Avatar67 and Club, for their generous pledges, and another way to support me is to check out all the videos on the playlist on screen right now. I know you'll find something in there that you'll enjoy. I have a second channel where I talk about the current VGC metagame trends, and a Twitch channel where I stream, both of which will be in the description, or you can just tune into my YouTube live streams Monday through Friday at 6 PM CST. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!